everybody. Welcome back to the Car Sucker. My name is Jimmy Prater. I'm a car closer. That's what I am. I close car deals, and I have a great time doing it, and I have a passion for it. That's just who I am. I'm a car closer, and I want to teach you to be a car closer. If you want to learn some closing techniques, call the Sharker. That's me. I want to teach you to be a closer, all right? Now, I want to talk to you about a few things, stuff that's really important, and I don't know if we're talking about it or not, but if you're not talking about it to the customer, you need to start talking about it. There's certain customers for each talkability. Does that make any sense to you? Because it does me, right? Okay, I thought it did. See, I'm trying to close you. It is what it is. Because talkability, LTF, let's talk LTF, lending term formula. Do we know what lending term formula is? Anybody know what it is? I see somebody out there raising their hand, right? You know what lending term formula is? Right. Your LTF. That's when banks buy two different ways. How do they buy? They buy the individual and they buy the collateral. They put them together and they have what? Their own formula. That's how they come up with the ACT fee. Their own formula. LTF, lending term formula. Okay? So does that explain the ACT fee to you? I hope it does. All right, great. The other thing I want to talk to you about is light digit percentages. Light digit percentages. All right? How are we doing? Are we negotiating in increments of $100, $200, $300, $400, $500? How are we doing it? Are we negotiating in $1,000 increments, $2,000 increments? Because if we are, we're doing it all wrong. Light digit percentages. That's how we got to start negotiating. Boy, let me tell you something. This is big deal. This is big profits. You know, instead of taking off $1,000 or $1,500 or adding another $300 or $400 or $500, $600 to a trade-in, what are we going to do? We're going to talk points, light digit percentages. You know, hey, what if I get a customer? I'm going to get you a couple points here on your trade-in, and I also on the discount percentages, I got you a couple points less. I mean, that's what's going on at any of the big box stores. Walmart does percentages. How come you're not doing it? I mean, Walmart knows something about it. You know who else is doing them? Every restaurant you go to. They're all doing them, percentages. Hey, I got a coupon, 10% off. Then we need to start talking about light digit percentages. I got a way to do it and desk quickly. You just call the Car Sharker, sit down, we'll go over it. So we got the LTF and the light digit percentages. And the other thing I want to talk about is anticipation deduction. What is the difference between anticipation deduction and the residual value? Whoa, it's a big difference. The big difference is you're anticipating the deduction of the vehicle. And normally that gets strung out about 10 years. Now you got to be talking to the customer because, see, customers can get any of this online. You can get any of this stuff online, but it's really hard to comprehend it. You got to be there with the customer. You got to be able to talk to the customer, anticipation deduction. Now, that's what closers do. I'm talking about closers of the figures. I'm not talking about closers of the product. Because closers of the product are what? Product specialists. But closers of the figures are the closers of the floor managers. Okay? So that's the direction we want to go. We also want to talk about CDE, your currency devaluation exchange rate. It's huge. Okay? And that's part of the anticipation deduction. So when you're talking a lease to a customer, you're going to say CDE rate. Because we know what? An average sedan, $30,000. If you could buy one for $30,000 sedan, I know it's SUV market nowadays. I get it, but I'm just going to use that as an example. $30,000 is about $1.64 per mile. We know what a lease is going to cost. What, 20 cents, 23 cents per mile? But if we talk CDE rate with the anticipation deduction value, we understand what vehicle is going to actually be towards the end. Now, the CDE rate, you're only going to pay if you're really paying on a purchase of $1.64 per mile. 64 cents per mile is really going to the devaluation of the vehicle, which is what goes towards the anticipation deduction of the vehicle. Now, I'm a closer, so I know what I'm talking about. This is what I do. I live it, I breathe it, I sleep it. I even dream it. I never have a nightmare over it because I love closing deals. And I can talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And I listen. And I have a process. I have a closing process. This closing process works. My closing process works. See, if I say things 3 times, you know what happens? You remember it. I mean, they told me that in the Army. Boy, I remembered it. They told me, after a while, they only had to tell me once to get down and beat my face. Hey, it happened. All right, but listen, there's terminology. And I've only given you a sliver of that terminology. A little sliver of how to close leases and how to close your regular car deal. I'm talking regular installment loan. That's a sliver. We got to talk those. Talk that language. Are we talking that language? We got to talk that language. We got to close the deals. We got to close and close and close and close and close. And we don't let the customer go. We don't give the customer walking papers and shopping papers who go, hey, here you go. Wow, I got this slip. Now I can go to another dealer and see if they can beat it. No, we're going to close them down right there. We're going to close them down right there. We're going to take their money, Yeah, I love it. I love taking their money. I love it, and I love making gross. And I want you to make gross. And I want you to have a good time with it. Listen, my name is Jimmy Prater. Oh, I forgot to ask you something. See, if you like this video, would you click on like? Because, see, I could really use a friend. I really could. At the same time, if you click that little icon at the bottom, the little sharky icon, you'd be subscribed to my channel. And every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Now do yourself a favor. Go close something! Yeah!